Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raymond Baker. Can you think of something that you can't live without? I know for me, the first thing that popped in my head was my cell phone. Most of us these days think that we wouldn't be able to survive without our lifelines to civilization. We would surely perish without them, am I right? Now let's try and think of another thing. This is something much more important than a phone. Something so precious to human life that we literally couldn't go more than a few days without it. In extreme cases, it's the difference between life and death. It has the power to wipe out entire cities or nurture the crops on our farms. If you guessed water, then you're right. Water is our most important resource, and I'm going to tell you why you should be drinking more of it and the many benefits of drinking water. I'll expand on what happens to your body when you don't get enough, and lastly, we will go over ways you can make water fun, which will make it easier to incorporate in your day-to-day life. First things first, why do we need to drink water? According to Joel Colomé, a dietitian for the Beverage Institute, our body is composed of 60% water, and some of our most vital organs, such as the brain, heart, and lungs, are made of a higher concentration, somewhere between 73 to 83%. Knowing this information, it is imperative that we are replacing the water we lose daily through activities like exercising, breathing, urinating, and just good old-fashioned evaporation. Without a steady flow of water coming into our bodies, we become dehydrated. According to Dr. Stephen Guest, a nephrologist at Kaiser Permanente, when dehydration kicks in, it impairs other bodily functions from doing their jobs too, like digestion, blood circulation, and the transportation of nutrients throughout the body. I have experienced this firsthand when I was having problems with my digestion. I spoke to my doctor and explained that I was taking a fiber supplement, so I was perplexed as to why it wasn't working. She told me that fiber can't work by itself. If it's not transported through my body properly, it won't do its job. And the only way to do that was by drinking more water. So I took her advice and I upped my intake, and I noticed a significant change with my digestion within the next few days. So since then, I've been hooked. I drink water. Just like my digestion problem, dehydration can impair your body's way of regulating its temperature, which could cause a fever. Headaches are another sign your body is dehydrated, along with your urine being very yellowish and a pungent smell. Water is also essential to washing away bad breath in your mouth and in creating saliva. Without water, you may suffer from chronic bad breath, which we can all agree nobody wants that. According to the Healthcare Associates of Texas, a lack of water can cause skin to lose its elasticity, leading to dry, flaky, saggy skin. And in man's quest for eternal youth, it sounds to me like not drinking water is simply not an option. Now that we're all thoroughly terrified of ever being dehydrated, let's discuss some of the reasons people have for not drinking water. I've heard many people say that they simply don't enjoy the flavor. It's too bland for them, or they prefer something with a little more character to it. If you're one of these people, I understand your concern. I too love a flavored beverage. And I will concede that water may not be the best tasting option out there. However, there are many ways to make your water taste the way you want, while still reaping the effects of nature's elixir. If water by itself is too bland for your taste buds and you want an all-natural way to enhance the flavor, you may add fruit to the container, infusing it with juice. Or if you're not as serious about everything must be organic, and they have a myriad of flavor packets that you can squeeze out of a bottle or dump out of a little packet and into your water, instantly transforming dull, boring water into water that even a picky child would drink. Personally, I haven't always loved water myself. In fact, I used to be a soda drinker, until I researched and found a study in the journal Stroke, which stated the link between artificially flavored soda, strokes, and dementia. That's pretty scary stuff, especially because it's all avoidable if we start making better choices today. One of my better choices was to ditch the soda and pick up the water. Instead of regular flat water, I prefer to drink sparkling water. The carbonation makes me feel like I'm having a drink from my past while still getting all the benefits of natural water. Now that you've heard about some ways to make your water something fun and exciting to drink, let's think about what the world would be like if there was no water. Without water, we wouldn't have streams, rivers, or oceans. You could say goodbye to all that delicious seafood. If it never rained, our crops wouldn't grow, and our animals would die from lack of food. Not to mention, our regular human body would start to shut down after the third day. I found that knowing what it would be like without water gave me a greater appreciation for it. It's my belief that when we have a better understanding of the importance of something, we are less inclined to take it for granted. With all of this talk pertaining to the importance of water, of drinking water, I would like to challenge you to drink more water yourself. I found that when I made the switch from soda to water, it was easier for me to do it slowly over a period of time. The first thing I did was swap out one of my other drinks for sparkling water. They have many different flavors to choose from, so you can take your pick there. Or you could try adding the flavoring like we talked about earlier to a glass of water. Either way you choose to get your water in is going to be better than not having it at all. And I wouldn't ask you to do something that I haven't done myself. So go ahead and make that switch. At least one drink that you drink today. Don't make it a sugary substance. Replace it with a glass of water. If you want, put flavoring in it, and it'll taste better. So go ahead and make the switch today. You never know. You may end up loving the results.